Hi friends, Prepared Suburbanite here. After the events of October 1st in Las Vegas, honestly, it was truly devastating, and I think President Trump said the right word, evil. It was totally evil what that man did. I just couldn't fathom, and I still can't fathom, the depravity in his mind, picking off people at that venue. Just absolutely horrible and truly evil. But that's not what I came here to say. The question that has been popping up, obviously, is all about gun control. What should be done, what shouldn't be done, does it work, does it not work, all that kind of stuff. So the question that I want to talk about in this segment today is, can we have a real dialogue about gun control or not? Stick around. So far, I've heard that we should pass a constitutional amendment to do away with the Second Amendment, that we should ban all semi-automatic assault rifles, that we should enhance somehow the background checks and make them universal. And yeah, there's been a ton of YouTube videos and a ton of commentary about why none of that stuff's really going to work, and that it wouldn't have prevented what happened on October 1st in Las Vegas. It wouldn't have had an impact to change the history on any of the mass shootings that we've had. But the bottom line really is, can we have a real dialogue about gun safety, gun control, gun whatever folks need to talk about? Well, I've tried it, and I have been met with nothing but bigotry and hate. I don't think the left, the proponents of gun control, the Hollywood elites, the folks that are trying to act as our moral compass, like Jimmy Kimmel, who used to have gals jumping on a trampoline while he chugged beer. I just can't imagine that he's now the moral compass of America. But when he says the things that he says, and he puts on the airwaves in his television show, and he has a huge audience, he has people that really do listen to him and probably get a majority of their news and what to think about from him, that he's done a disservice, because none of the things, well, maybe a few of the things, he was sincere about his beliefs, I'll give him that, but he certainly was not truthful about the facts that he was spewing, about the level of this and the level of that and the statistics that he was trying to throw around. He was not being truthful. So can we have an honest dialogue with him? No. Can we have an honest dialogue with Nancy Sinatra? She just decided that she was going to take all the members of the NRA and have them shot by a firing squad. Well, I suppose that would eliminate quite a lot of dissension and all that, but gee whiz, that's not the right thing to do. And in fact, it's totally morally objectionable that anybody could spout that level of hate and hatred, and that's coming from Nancy Sinatra. Well, I don't know what else I can say about that. But can we have a real dialogue? I was at a meeting, we'll call it, recently, and the subject of guns and gun control came up, And one of the fellas in my meeting, who's a friend, said, there will never, ever be a gun in my house, ever. And I said, why? He said, because they're dangerous. I said, why do you feel that way? He said, they are. They kill people. Oh, man. So I tried to reason with him. I tried to give him all the things about, you need to have a way to protect your property, to protect yourself, to protect your family and loved ones in case, you're under attack in a home invasion or whatever. He said, I'm going to call the cops. But you think the cops should be armed, right? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, okay. That went back and forth for a few minutes until we both realized that neither one of us was going to give on their positions. I saw recently from a Facebook friend, and I'll say Facebook friend because he's not really a friend. He's an acquaintance of another person that I know, and we exchanged invites on Facebook a while ago, and he's pretty left-leaning in his philosophies, and he shared a post that said there is absolutely no reason for anyone in the United States to possess an assault rifle and kill over 50 people. It's just not right. So what he was saying is, let's confiscate, let's take away the ability to protect ourselves, the ability to protect our families, the ability to pursue happiness, I guess, because a lot of folks, and me included, get quite a lot of pleasure out of target practice at the range. It's a fun pastime. I enjoy it. But can you engage in a dialogue of constructive outcomes with somebody who is that adamant in their beliefs that guns should be assault rifles? He did qualify assault rifles, that they need to be confiscated. And yeah, we could have gotten into how are you going to confiscate them. Well, the government will go turn them in, go pick them up if they don't voluntarily turn them in. And who's going to force people to give up their arms? Well, unarmed police force. That's what's going to happen. So, there's a circular argument that goes on here. But the real bottom line is, I don't think it's possible to have a real dialogue about gun safety, about gun control, about what really needs to be done. And if I had all the answers, I'd be a wealthy man. But I don't have all the answers. I do know that there are hundreds of laws already on the books that are not being enforced, and that the penalties that are prescribed within the law are not being realized. So folks that are in violation of federal and state gun laws are given very lax sentences. In fact, sometimes their sentences are even commuted, and they are given forgiveness. That should never happen. If you want to really get tough on gun control, you really want to make sure that the people that should not have firearms in their possessions, if you really want to make sure that they can't get their hands on them, toughen up those penalties. Enforce the laws that we've already got on the books, and let's see what really happens. I'll bet you things will change. There's another argument about mental health and what needs to be done with folks that are experiencing certain levels of mental illness and whether they should be allowed to have access to firearms. And I don't believe that mental health is an exact science. I think it's very subjective. I don't think that it's a practical way to approach this, but when somebody's been prescribed anti-anxiety, antidepressant drugs, that should be a warning flag that there could be potential dangers. Those drugs oftentimes do more damage than the condition that they're prescribed to treat. So when you get right down to it, there are a few logical discussions that can come of this, but I don't think that rational people on the right or rational people on the left have the ability to sit down and discuss it, because they will be drowned out by the vitriol and the hatred from those that are so adamant in their positions that they will take away, confiscate our firearms. And there isn't any other way to get around that. Let your congressman know. Do your homework. Let your senators know how you feel about guns, gun safety, gun control, and what can be done about it. Let's make it known that we will not be the victims here, that we cannot be the victims here. This is the Prepared Suburbanite with just his opinion on today's controversial issue. I'll see you on the next video. Out for now.